Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and get this kicked off. I'll give everybody 5 minutes, and so I think we got a great group here. I want to first introduce myself. My name is Corbin Cowan. I'm one of the founders of Albatross, with Josh Booty here and Matt Haynes, my other partners. Just grateful for everybody to come out and learn a little bit more about what we're doing. Josh, I want to kind of let you kick this thing off,
Sure.
and then we've got some slides and stuff, but this is really more intended to just be a conversation amongst friends, and and we'll cover some of the details, and then get some questions answered.
Awesome. Awesome. So a lot of you guys have probably looked at some of the material, maybe not a lot of it. We're pretty excited about what Corbin and Maddie had put together. I know Ronick, myself, Urban Meyer, three guys that kind of got behind this thing early in terms of trying to help network and bring this thing to market, to build an unbelievable members club of golf guys,
and women
all over the place. Yeah. We've got a good group of guys already involved. Shane Hoff, who's on the line there, he's a member at Atlanta Country Club. He won the last event that we had, and so this is a good group of guys that we're wanting to build, where we do awesome events. And Maddie's going to tell you about what he's done in the past to really put together celebrity golf events. What we're trying to do is really in partnership with the CGA, and he'll tell you all about what he's done in the past and what we're doing. But is have unbelievable events all over the place in amazing places where you're golfing your ball for real money, and you're networking, and there's events around it that are going to just be epic. He's been a part of the Tahoe stuff since the very beginning, and so we're super pumped. And he's the reason that I really wanted to get behind it in the beginning. Now I've gotten really close with Corbin, and his vision for this thing is amazing, and what we're doing from the charity angle is amazing too. But I think for the guys that are listening, it's a really unique opportunity, if you love golf, to play in amazing locations with great people, with celebrities attached to it, and play your ball for money, and have just an unbelievable experience doing that. We've already had some good times. We had a Super Bowl event. We had a Puerto Rico event. We're going back to Puerto Rico in a month. But what more could you ask for than to network with good dudes all over the place? Most of these guys are members at high end clubs all over the place, or have a golf background or a real affinity for golf, and creating friendships all over. So I'm super excited to be a part, and we got a lot of athletes that are wanting to dig in on this too. We've had over probably 50 celebrities at our first 2 or 3 events, and some big name guys, Hall of Famers. We had at the Super Bowl event, we had Marcus Allen and Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, and Doug Flutie, and of course Urban was there. But that's just to name a few. Warwick Dunn, Ryan Howard. I mean, just some wonderful celebrities. But really, it's for us, for the guys that really enjoy golf, to compete at a very, very high level, net and gross, in the future. And I think there's going to be some awesome stuff that you guys will learn tonight on the call that we're trying to get done. And so that's kind of my spiel, and I'm sure I'll add some color to that as we go. But that's just happy to have all you guys on the phone. Think a lot of you guys, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to do it.
Awesome. Matt, you want to just kind of pipe in and talk a little bit about what's going on with Jeremy today?
Yep. Yeah.
And then I'll kind of cover a couple of slides and talk about the foundation a little bit, and then talk about what we're hoping to do.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Corbin. So hello, everybody. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm the founder and CEO of the Celebrity Golf Association. I wanted to touch upon, we sent this invite out with not only Josh's pretty face, but Jeremy Ronick as well. And Jeremy was going to be here. However, last night, if you follow JR hockey at all, he was inducted after 20-year wait into the NHL Hall of Fame. So I was checking with him all day. He was in. He's going to make the call. And the NHL just came calling and saying they need him for an interview. He's probably on TV right now. and then has his podcast tonight as well. So he couldn't say no to the NHL after just getting inducted to the NHL Hall of Fame. So I've known JR for 20 plus years, dear friend of mine. So I'm very happy for him. We'll send you out a little video from him after this tomorrow, and he will be on the next one. But so I apologize for his absence tonight. He was just pulled away in an interview he couldn't say no to. So yeah, so getting back to, you know, how it came with the Celebrity Golf Association and Albatross. I ran the largest celebrity golf tournament in the world for 20 plus years with NBC, called the American Century Championship, which you'll see in just 2 weekends from now. The weekend after 4th of July is the largest celebrity golf tournament in the world. It's 85,000 spectators, some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment, playing 3 days of competitive golf on the shores of Lake Tahoe. So it's been going on now for 32 years. I worked on it for the first 20 plus, and not the first 20. It came in about 5 years into it. But during that process, got not only friendly with a lot of the celebrities, but saw the attraction to golf from not only celebrity side, which are, you know, we had a $650,000 purse, but it wasn't the purse the guys were coming out for. It was the thrill of the competition, the bragging rights between each other. Most of the celebrities that won money, 35–40% of them didn't even take the money. They donated to charity. But it really kind of sparked something in me saying, wow, why do we only do this once a year? So I created, during COVID, when we all had time on our hands, I created the Celebrity Golf Association. So using celebrities in a tour where we do 3-day tour events throughout the country and tie it all in, all the point systems. Each tournament feeds off the other. And that way it's easier also to go for sponsorships and television rights, things like that. So as I was doing this, I was at a networking event where Corbin and I were both members of a same group. And Corbin came to me and said, hey, what about this idea I have of Albatross Golf Society, which is the same exact thing as the CJ, but the men and women that play in Albatross just aren't famous. They happen to not be on TV, but they are successful, you know, business owners and entrepreneurs and executives that love the competition of golf, want to play for high stakes, and want to play incredible golf courses. So it made sense to bring the two together, because when I go to do an event, I have a golf course for 3 days. I have certainly more than enough inventory to not only put the 60 to 80 person celebrity field out there, but we can also having a whole nother golf tour running simultaneously, and then really mingle the two together. So that's kind of what started Albatross Golf Society and the CGA coming together as one, working side by side. As we build Albatross, you'll notice we're doing smaller kind of feeder events. Because the CGA does take a little while to get rolling. I need 6 months, sometimes to a year, to plan each event, because they're not just your golf boondoggles. These are, you know, events with big sponsors and television and all kinds of stuff around it. So we're really excited on what the future has. We've already committed to our next Super Bowl event, which will be in New Orleans. We just took down TPC in Louisiana. So around the Super Bowl this year, we'll have one of the best golf courses, or not the best golf course in Louisiana, and all the Super Bowl excitement around that. Corbin, I'll kind of tell you the other events that we have between now and then. And then as CGA goes, we're in talks with Miami, Arizona, Casa de Campo down in the Caribbean, to Puerto Rico as well. So we're really trying to find the best fit and homes that are going to last us for not just 1 year, but multiple years, and build it to something very special. So from that, I don't want to talk too much. Corbin, take it from there.
Yeah, so I'll cover my background in a little bit, but when I came up with this concept, I looked at what Matt had done with the, you know, tournament out in Tahoe, and I'm like, you know, all the successful business guys pay the money to go and play out there with a celebrity, but they go out there and they do a scramble, and then the celebrities get to go play for money. I'm like, you know, I'm a competitive guy. I don't even like to do scrambles that much. So I'm like, I want to build a community of golfers that want to get in there and compete. And and so it's never been done before. There's never been an amateur event like the one that we had in Atlanta, where Shane Hoff took home 25 grand. And I'm probably going to get a call from the PGA or the USGA at some point.
27,500. Thanks.
27,500, he says. That's right. I forgot about the day money.
And I think we still owe him $200. Isn't that right, Shane?
Yeah, I owe him 200. So, what we're doing has never really been done. And everybody sees the vision and wants the vision to happen. And who we're looking for right now are the guys and girls that can help us get to the point where we've got, 1,000 members and the events are packed and they're on television and all that kind of stuff. But it's going to take a little while to get there. And so we're doing these smaller events. Most importantly for me, I started this because I needed a way to surround myself with successful people to help me raise money for the 23,000 kids that age out of the foster system every year. And so our commitment is that at every single event, we are raising money for that cause or a similar organization that serves that demographic. And so unlike a lot of the golf societies like Epic and Outpost and all these, they do a couple of charitable events, but most of their events are just, social and they're not, focused on raising money. And, we've committed to make sure that social purpose is part of what we're doing. And so that's always an important piece for me. My background is in building businesses and buying and selling businesses and raising capital and that kind of stuff. And, about a year and a half ago, I just had one of those moments where I decided that I needed to start using my skill set, to help, help these kids instead of, chasing the dollar all the time. And so that's kind of how all this was born, was out of that desire. We kind of soft launched this, coming up on a year ago, about 9 months ago. And we got about 30 guys to commit to being founding members. We closed that opportunity and kind of put together a couple of different membership tiers. Everybody on this call, is really invited to be a founder. You're all friends of Josh. But as we bring this out into the marketplace, we want that Founders Club to be a special group of people. When we have 1,000 members and we only have 80 or 100 Founders Club members, it's because we've protected that and we don't just let people in. We're letting the right people in, that we know and that we know their character, we know the kind of people they are, and so because you're on the call tonight, you are that type of person. And Josh has essentially asked me to open up the Founders Club for anybody on the call that wants to participate in that. But there's also other opportunities to participate, and so I'll talk a little bit about those. So we've got the vision of having larger corporations come in and be sponsors and things like that. And then we've got kind of the 2-tiered membership structure outside of the Founders Club, which is our signature membership, and then our Premier Golf membership, which is kind of like the entry level for a lot of the people that aren't maybe they're super successful, but they can only go to 1, maybe 2 events a year. They don't want to drop 25 grand. So we created something for that experience specifically, so that it's available to all of the right people, right? Not just the ones that can play golf all the time. And so this is really one of our first presentations to getting it out on social media and trying to market it and push it out there. And so we're excited to get everybody's feedback. We've got some great events coming up. The structure of our events is a little bit different. We've kind of created a formula where a +1 and a 13 handicap can be competing at the same time on the same course in the same event, and they both have to perform extremely well in order to win. This is not a format where that favors the higher handicappers. and we, tested it, and in every event that we've done so far, if a higher handicap, a higher handicapper like Shane won, there was a low handicap right at his, heels. We had a +1 win and a 7 was second. We had an 8 win and a +2 was second. And had the +2 performed in the last couple of holes and made a birdie, he would have won. But he didn't execute like a +2 should, and so he gave it away to the higher handicapper. How we do that is through a modified Stableford point system, and we adjust after day one. So I'll let Shane kind of talk a little bit about his experience in Atlanta, and kind of what I did to him after day one, and just kind of talk a little bit about, you were one of our first guys to say, hey, I want to be a founder, and you've played in our events. Kind of just give your testimony, if you will.
Yeah, I would want to say to people that are just still trying to wrap their head around what Albatross really is. Josh brought this to me probably about a year ago, almost a year ago, and it took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 phone calls and talks with Josh and a couple of talks with Corbin before I said, okay, I think I get it, and I'm in, and I jumped in, and it really started to click for me in Vegas during that tournament when I could see what was actually happening. I saw the networking that was happening. I understood more about the cause. I saw the event, although I didn't really show up, and compete very well in that one, but I still had a blast, and we had side action going on. I think Corbin took 1,000 Albatross bucks from me that day. That was a little brutal, but then we talked about it afterward, and I helped set up the event in Atlanta. And after that event, it really totally clicked for me. It was so exciting. The 2-day tournament, the people that were there, the cause, the way it went down, the scoring system was good. I did get reduced by 4. I got 4 of my 4 of my index, or 4 strokes taken away from me in day 2, because I had a good run at the end of day 1. And like Corbin said, I think John was the 2 that almost took it from me. And it was just so exciting, such a fun day, and was able to just pull it off. I was only up by 1 for like the last 6 holes or something like that. It's a lot of stress, but it was really fun. So,
and I tell you, that was watching that, and watching you hit that shot on 17, which,
yes.
Since he didn't talk about it, I'll just go ahead and talk about it. He's in the trees, totally in jail. He's got a stroke.
I thought it was over.
The guy
honestly.
in second doesn't have a stroke. All he's got to do is chip out and then go make a bogey net par, and he keeps his lead. No, the 13 handicap decides he's going to go through a 3-foot by 3-foot window at the top of the trees, and he pulls it off, lands 8 feet. He misses the putt, but taps in for a 4-net 3 and cushions his lead going into 18. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, people are going to think I'm lying when I tell these stories, because it's just been, the first tournament, it came down to the last hole. Urban Meyer's the leader in the clubhouse, and one of our members misses an 18-inch tap-in putt to win because he didn't pay attention. And the crowd went crazy, and it's just been awesome. So,
well, even in Atlanta, I had a 2-point lead going into the last hole, but I got a bogey, and John birdies that hole all the time. That could have easily been a playoff.
yeah.
So it was really down to the last couple shots.
So, I'm always very careful about making sure that we're not presenting things that we're not yet, right? We're not full field 144 guy events with ropes and TV cameras yet, right? We've got 30 founding members. We're building this thing, and we're relying on our members to, help us populate these events. Now we're getting ready to kind of go out and do a little bit more marketing. But now, we're really ready now to start to ramp this thing up. And so our next kind of benchmark, if you will, is to get to that 300 members of founders, signature, premier, social, whatever, so that at any point in time, we can have a full field. Because, with schedules and how busy everybody is, we're seeing 30 to 50%, can attend an event regardless of how much, notice we give, right? And right now, since we're building, we're not forecasting yet a year out, right? So next year, we will have a year out planned ahead, right? So we need to get to that 300 members, and that's what these calls are about, is making sure that we can get the word out, and then eventually we see thousands of members and have it break down into regions and have regional events and national events and international events, and that's where we really want to take it. So our next event, which we're hoping everybody can come to, is in Colorado Springs. It is hosted by Jeremy Roenick. And it's going to be beautiful weather. August 18th is the practice round, 19th and 20th. I'll make sure everybody gets a link to check that out. 2 amazing golf courses, great food, cigars, competition, camaraderie, the whole deal. But we really want to make it a great event. So we've got a special promotion that we're pushing out where, if you come to the Colorado event and you want to experience what we're doing before you join, 100% of what it costs you to play in that event goes towards your membership. And then if you bring some friends, for every friend that you bring, we'll give you $1,000 cash at the event, or we'll take it off of what your event fee is or whatever. But bring 1, bring 20, we'll pay you $1,000 a piece. So we can really make that event, something special and make it really, really competitive and exciting. So that's something that we haven't done before. Each event generally costs, $2,500 to $4,500, depending on, where it is, how much we're having to pay for golf, hotel, and all that kind of stuff. And then we always give everybody, we don't make any money on the hotels, so we always give everybody an option to, use your points or whatever, and not book through us for your hotels. And so in Colorado, the members pricing for the Colorado event, which is 3 rounds of golf, 3 nights of hotel, the members price is $3,000 or $2,000 if you use your points and just book your own hotel, $3,100 if you stay in a local Marriott, and there's still a few rooms at the resort that are like $500 a night, and it's $3,500, and then we add $1,000 to that, and that's the guest price for each one of those. And so, at this point, we want to open it up for questions and let everybody kind of give us some feedback.
Hey, I'll kick it off if you don't mind, because I got 2 questions that I think could be answered that could help kind of spur the more questions. But founding members, what does that cost? Where is this going with the purses in terms of when you enter a tournament, you pay your $3,000? What could you potentially win? Where's that all going? We know Shane won 27.5 last event. That's going to continue to grow, stuff like that. But I think the founding members, what's that cost up front right now to become a founding member? And then what's the purses going to look like at some of these events in the future?
So founding members is $25,000. You get 30,000 in what we'll call an expense account, but you're going to give us a year to build this thing before you start being able to pull from it. You can use those. We call them Albatross dollars or Albatross credits. You can use those as gambling currency. So what Shane was referencing is that when he and I played together in Vegas, I bet him $1,000 of his Albatross credits and took them from him. So I think Booty's, I think, up about 6 or 8 grand in Albatross credits from different members that he's played with, both at our events and not at our events. You know, they're using their credits to gamble with. And so the goal with the founders membership is that I wanted all of the founders to get all of their money back by participating. You know, this isn't especially at this stage, you know, intended to be a extremely profitable you know, venture. We're just trying to bring in enough capital to where we can build the vision and make it a reality. And so we think that we can do that in a year, and then you can start pulling off of that expense account for travel, for, you know, for whatever, you know, whatever we put out, both golf events and other type of events, like, you know, signature events at the Masters or whatever. You'll be able to, you know, use some of your, you know, prepaid expense account for that. And then the purses will continue to get bigger. As you know, when we can put a full field together of 144 players, the purse will be 100 grand at least. And then, you know, when we start to attract sponsors, and that can start to cover some of the costs, then, you know, ultimately, you know, I see 3 or 4 years from now, purses being $250,000, $500,000. And then the goal, as the other big component, is that every year we'll have a founders event that's only for the Founders Club members. And, you know, at that event, we'll take a percentage of all the revenue that was generated for, you know, in the league, you know, in the entity during the course of the year. And that'll be the purse. You know, so I envision that one getting up into the, you know, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 range as well.
Right. And the other part of the founders membership when we started this too was we are really trying, and what Corbin hasn't touched upon, mainly because he doesn't party, is there is a networking component to this that we haven't touched on. So for example, when we did the Atlanta Country Club event that Shane hosted us at, you know, we rented a 10-bedroom mansion where we had dinners and cigars and drinks and you know, kind of camaraderie of the evening. And we do that at each event. So it's not solely just the golf. Golf is obviously a big portion. You got to love golf to be in this, but there is also a social and networking component of this as well. Most of our members are members at nice country clubs throughout the country. So, you know, with those relationships opens up memberships or guest privileges for you at once you become friendly with, you know, the other men or women in the group. So there really is a social aspect. Our plans for kind of the membership is to build out bios for each person if they want their bios to be out there so people can network together. If Shane's in Atlanta and you happen to be there on a business trip, you know, you can call Shane, or you're in Fort Lauderdale, you can call Booty. So really trying to build that camaraderie. And the second reason for that as well is we have a special sauce right now. And that is right now we're opening this up to friends and family. And that's how we want to build from the ground up. And because one bad apple kind of ruins the bunch, we don't want to go out with marketing funnels out to the universe and start talking to God knows who that just has money and could be an asshole. That's not going to make this thing work if we have a bunch of prima donnas or egomaniacs in this. It's got to be good natured people that want to make a difference in charity, in children's lives, and play competitive golf along the way. So really, that was the kind of the reason we're doing these kind of grassroots calls before we start opening this membership up to people. We really want, just like a country club, we really want friends and family, referrals, a buddy of a buddy, that kind of thing. And that's why we're encouraging people to bring friends to your first event, or if it's your third event, bring men or women that haven't been to an event. We're pretty sure by the time they leave, they're going to be interested in joining.
Yeah. It's the guys that we wanted on this call and a lot of these types of calls for them to go and get their friends that they think should be on these types of calls too. And then you great guys all around, right? So it's the guys that are close to us that we know that they're making good decisions on who they're playing golf with every day at their country clubs that they could bring in. And so that's how we're wanting to build this thing. And I think that we're in an opportunity now where we can get into a growth spurt. A year ago when I met Corbin and we talked about this, and then I pitched it to Shane and a couple of my buddies that ended up getting in. We had it was a concept. I think now we've had 2 events. We had the big Super Bowl event. Now we kind of know what we need to do to make this thing a real club. And I think y'all are catching it at the right time too. And the people that y'all would introduce to us would be proud of the club that we built and or building. And I think that's the sky's the limit in this thing, and we're catching it just super early. I mean, we're first inning right here.
Right.
Yeah, and the other thing is that as this gets out into social media, and we I am marketing now and reaching out to people on LinkedIn that we don't know, but no one can join Albatross without coming to an event and playing with an existing founder. And so they get to come to one event as a guest to make sure that it's a good fit for them. But we're really interviewing them, and we're watching them and seeing how they behave, and making sure that they're going to be a good fit for the community that we're building. Because it's not just about golf. You don't have to be a scratch golfer. Shane is not very good at golf.
Oh,
Easy. Okay.
But he hit some amazing
11.
shots.
I'm 11.
He hit some amazing shots in Atlanta, and he was good in Atlanta.
I'm a good gambler.
But my game is not great, but I still love to get out there and compete, and so we're building it the right way, and we want the right people, and so there's nobody's going to join this by signing up on the website and getting in and spoiling this. So but at the same time, we want to grow it fast enough that we can have this incredible experience for all of our founders and all of our people that are coming in right now on on these calls.
So Corbin, I'm just noticing the chat, and Jason Brennan just sent a couple questions. I'll read them and then answer them. He said, is there a schedule that has a 12 to 18 months in advance? Is it 2 events a year expectation, or will it grow to be more? To answer that one, we're working on a 12-month plan right now, Jason. So there's 2 ways to look at it. You'll have the CGA event. So any Albatross members will have access to CGA events. And when I say have access, doesn't mean I can, most events you'll be able to come and play in the celeb band portion of that event. Most of the CGA events will have an Albatross portion of it as well. Again, it all depends on where our membership is, what our RSVP allotment is. But yes, you'll have access to not only Albatross soul events, which are our trip to Calusa Pines. We did that, our ACC event, things of those sort. What we're doing in Colorado Springs is more of a 40-50 person Albatross event with a couple celebrities mixed in, where the CGA is mainly CGA, it's all celebrities, and then Albatross is joining that as well. So you'll have access to both. We hope to have an event a month once we really get humming. And that may take us 24 months, but that is our plans. I have investors on the CGA side. I basically told them we will build a celebrity event once a quarter that will be fans and sponsors and television, all that good stuff. So that is the plan. He also asked, are there plans for additional non-golf related social networking events? Absolutely. I mean, one, we want to encourage everybody to try to come out to all the events that we have, on the books, right? That's kind of where it all happens and the camaraderie goes along. But in the meantime, what myself and Josh and Corbin are acting as too is almost your matchmaker too. So if you become a member and you're traveling somewhere and we have, you want to get hooked up with somebody who's an Albatross member, we make that warm intro for you guys. We introduce you and have you take it from there. So, and then sponsorship opportunities he's asking about. Yes, sponsorships right now are certainly available. And we're CGA is kind of leading that side, right? We are the kind of the sex and sizzle because we have this, the celebrities that sell the sponsorships. But as we grow, I mean, we're a bunch of men and women of means that have had some success in business. That's attractive to sponsors. So we will open up sponsorships, not only event by event basis regionally, but also throughout the entire tour or the association. So sponsors can come in and sponsor Albatross and or CGA as a whole for the tour for the year, and that'll be one fee, and it'll open up all kinds of opportunities for you with the members and with the celebrities. And then he also asked, is any of the money tax deductible? Corbin?
Yeah, I'll touch on that. And just so you know, this first 12 months, if you look at starting with our first actual event at the Super Bowl, we'll have 5 or 6 events in this first 12 months. So we had Atlanta, we've got Colorado Springs coming up, and then we've got 1, maybe 2 events in Puerto Rico that we're about to announce, and then we'll have 1 at the end of the year. So and then, like you said, hopefully, we're going to scale the events as the membership scales. So, if we end up with 500 members in a year, we can have an event every month because we can plan for it and we've got the support to make it happen. So, when I looked at this, I wanted to try to make it as financially beneficial as possible. So, the membership is actually free, right? But you commit to being, in the first year, a corporate sponsor, and as a founder, that's a $25,000 corporate sponsorship. And then you commit every year to, as a founder, a $2,000 corporate sponsorship, and the other tiers are $2,500 a year of corporate sponsorship. And so, because those are advertising, marketing, and all that kind of stuff, you can write those off of your taxes. Each event, some of a portion of each event is also tax deductible, and so I've tried to structure this in a way that is the most financially beneficial to everybody.
Yep. And Brent asks, are winnings paid in cash or Albatross dollars? If paid in cash, do we still maintain our amateur status? Either or. We do pay cash. Shane took his cold hard cash, and I guess now is technically a celebrity professional golfer.
So
we do have ways around that though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just address that really quick. Everybody fills out a questionnaire that has 4 questions on it before every event, and they have to fill it out before the event and make that declaration. And those are and this is exactly how they read. I want to protect my amateur status, and if I win, I will donate the money to Footprints Forward, which is the foundation for the foster kids. And that protects your amateur status. I want to protect my amateur status and donate it to Cancer's Foundation or whatever somebody else's charity is. As long as you're not personally involved in that charity, you can protect your amateur status that way. Those 2 are ironclad. There's nothing that any USGA official or anybody could do to pull your amateur status with that. The next one is in the gray area, but it says, I want to protect my amateur status, and if I win, I will take those winnings towards the next event, because all of our events are qualifying events. So you can use the purse to pay for your expenses for the next event that you could just qualify for. Right now, everybody qualifies for the next event, but as we grow, that qualification will actually mean something. And so I'm stretching that a little bit and basically saying, if you don't want to deal with a 1099 and paying taxes on your earnings and protect your amateur status, we basically just build you an expense account, and the next several tournaments, you're coming and we're paying for everything. And we just, whittle that expense account down until you're back in the black, so to speak. So that's the one that's kind of the gray area. And then the 4th one, and this is exactly how I word the question, is screw the governing bodies of golf. I'll deal with them if they come calling. And that's what Shane chose. And so I paid him the cash. And he you know, is technically a professional golfer. Now, I didn't submit anything to the USGA that says that he took the cash, but you know, if we were to ever, you know, get sued and have some legal deal, I would have to, you know, submit those to, you know, to them but for the most part, you know, if you're playing in like the mid AM and all that kind of stuff, just protect your amateur status and you know, play for a cause. Otherwise, you know, it's not going to be that big of a deal, or just declare yourself a professional.
Right.
You know, I'm a professional golfer that's a, you know, 10 handicap or an 8 handicap.
Yeah. I've run a lot of golf tournaments and with some of the biggest celebrities in the world, and they take the money and they still play in their member guest, and nobody, there's no, unless you're going out and playing Pebble Beach or the US Open, nobody's really gonna, bust your chops about taking some Albatross money.
See, Brent, who asked the question, is a former pro golfer, so I could see the question coming from him. But most of us don't have to worry about that.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
The other thing is that I really want to try to get a club pro challenge going, where we bring in club pros and let them compete against us. And so that's something that, but we do have a rule that if you're a teaching pro, you're just a working stiff, just like all of us, you're eligible, to play against us and compete with us. If you've played on a tour, Korn Ferry Tour, European Tour, PGA Tour, in the last 5 years, you're not eligible to come in and compete against our, Albatross members. But, if you played 5 years ago and now you work 60 hours a week and you're a +2 handicap, you're eligible. So that's kind of how we're dealing with that.
So we're coming up on 46 minutes here, Corbin. I don't want to take too much of everybody else's time. So is there any more questions or concerns that we're not addressing?
One more thing, I put the link to register for the Colorado event if anybody is interested in the chat. And then I will put my cell phone and email in the chat. And ideally, shoot me a text message and let's get on a call and get all your questions answered and see which direction you want to go.
Hey Corbin, one quick question. I think I'd heard about this before, but I'm wondering if it's still part of the plan. But I think you've planned in the future you'll have some founder only events.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. And there will be founders only experiences that like we've got an event that we're working on with a super like the biggest name in golf, and at that event there will be a dinner and only the founders will be able to go to that dinner.
Right.
And so we'll do things like that make bring additional value to the founders membership along the way, and those benefits and things will get more and more as we continue to scale. Right now they're limited, but in a couple of years from now they're going to be freaking amazing.
Right. Yeah, our plan too is outside of just competitive golf, right? We can't always play competitive golf, but it's Albatross trips to the Masters, to the US Open. We obviously have our Super Bowl experience this year, but there'll be opportunities to stay for the remainder of the weekend and enjoy the parties and tickets to the Super Bowl, things like that. So really try to create that clubhouse atmosphere, right? We are essentially a competitive traveling country club, and that's really what we want to be. We'll continue to step up our level of golf courses. So we're playing golf courses that are, sought after golf courses to play and in a competitive manner. So we have big plans for this year. We really rely on our members bringing in friends and buddies, and with every member we just get stronger. So the more you can spread the word, we're going to start weekly or twice a month. We're going to do these calls. Is that correct, Corbin?
Yeah. Twice a
And
month.
so just have them come and listen and hear us out, and more importantly, have them come to an event, because that's really where the magic happens. Is once we get everybody there and had a great day on the golf course, and then we're sitting back and eating good food, smoking cigars, having some drinks. You kind of really feel like what we're building here, and it's pretty special. So we're excited about it, and hopefully you guys are as well. And
Okay.
lady, we do have a lady, Kelly Sheehan, who is the director of golf at Casa de Campo, is with us. And so it's not just men, it's women as well.
So I got a question about the charity. So the charity, the name of the charity is Footprints Forward Foundation. It's a brand new charity that I just set up this year, but it is a total pass-through. I don't yet have like programs and things like that in that charity. So what I do is I just facilitate capital for other organizations. And there's no cell phone bills that come out of that. None of our liquor bills come out of it. When you make a donation to that foundation, you know that 100% of that money is going to go directly to the kids that we're trying to help. My first partner organization in that sense is a group here in Colorado Springs. It's called We Fortify is the name of the nonprofit, and they've got a community of tiny homes. They've got 18 tiny homes, and they bring these kids in and give them a place to live, work with them on life skills, help them get a job. It's a 2-year program. They have to meet with them every week. They've got counselors on staff, and they've got really the professional skill set to be able to be, boots on the ground where, when I started this, I thought I was going to do something big like that. And I got into it and I'm like, man, this is going to take me a long time. And I just do not have the professional background and expertise to be that involved. So let me do what I do well, which is network and bring awareness and resources to the table. And then we'll partner with organizations that are really good. And so as founders, if you have one of those organizations, we can absolutely partner with them and make one of our events special for them, right? And it doesn't always have to be the Colorado group or mine or whatever, but that's just kind of a little bit of background on how the donation and the 501c3 structure is working.
Right. It also helps with the wives when you were telling me you're going to wait for 3 days to play golf, and you're saying, "Hey, I'm doing it for the kids." Makes it easier.
That's right.
Yep.
And Matt's just in this for the free party. I'm in it to help kids.
100%. You're not wrong.
So
is there any last questions or anything before we close up? I know we've been on a while, and I appreciate you guys sitting there listening.
Yeah.
I think that I think we hit on all the important components. Like I said, I put my number in the chat, but it's also right here. It's 405-229-4052. That's my cell phone. Shoot me a text. Let me know what you're thinking. If Colorado's a possibility, if you want to jump on a call, this is my life right now. So I'm on it all the time. I look forward to meeting some of you guys in person and bringing you into the mission.
Yeah. And again, apologize about JR not being on tonight. Being inducted to the NHL Hall of Fame is kind of a big deal. So he was pulled away on some media. But if you do want to talk to him, he's, he'll sing the praises of Albatross and the CGA as well. So get in touch with Corbin. We'll get you on a call with JR. And if he can't sell you, then nobody can.
That's right.
He's the man, dude. A lot of fun, but he'll probably be on one of the next calls that we have too.
Yeah,
so.
he's guaranteed to be on the next one. So he apologized because, again, he just got inducted last night. So it's kind of a busy time for him. But yeah, and that's the thing. I've been able to cherry pick some of the best celebrities to join us on this ride. Josh is certainly a legend when it comes to when it comes to sports, not only NFL, but MLB. And then we have Roenick, and we have guys like Ryan Howard and Andrew Jones and Bodie Miller. They're all, we're not leading with their names because we don't want to get agents and whatnot involved, but they're certainly part of what we're building here. And once you get in a room with these guys and they get to let their hair down and they're around, trusted people, you get into a fun circle, and the good times just seem to just keep on rolling.
And I'll close with this, Matt. This may or may not be the right time for some of you to get involved with us, but if it's not, just get involved on the charitable side and introduce us to a bunch of people that may be where it may be a better time, and then you can come back in and when it's good for you, timing's right, we're going to be here. So I don't want timing to get in the way of progress, especially for the nonprofit side. And it's all about building relationships, and the timing will work out whenever. So let's jump on the phone and really get to know each other.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. And again, reach out to Corbin if you have any questions. Hope to hear from you soon. And if you want to hop on next time, we'll send a reminder out on the next call, and love to have you all again.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. All right. Y'all have a good one.